Are you ready for this? Lack is not real. Lack literally does not exist, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. The last time that you probably felt lack, let's say it was, you were halfway through your work week and you were thinking, oh boy, I haven't been paid yet. I have to pay my rent. I still have to pay my water bill. I have to do all these things. Like, I feel the lack. I feel like I don't have enough money. I feel like there's not enough to go around. Last time you were in a relationship, probably broke up, and you were saying, oh boy, I don't know if there's going to be another relationship out there for me. I don't know if there's really like healthy people anymore. Everyone's just toxic. Everyone's the same. I shouldn't even trust anyone. What's the point? Anytime that you've said things like this, you've believed that you've been living in lack. And you would say, yes, I'm literally showing you my bank account. Literally, look at the people that I've dated in the past. But here's what I want to ask you. When you're looking at your bank account, you're only taking into consideration the money, the paper money, the value that's leaving your account. You never ever stop to think about the value that you're actually gaining from spending that money. Literally, money cannot go to waste. Money doesn't just disappear. Money is constantly surrounding every single person and moving from place to place to place. As I always say, money hates to feel like it is just it has to stay in your bank account. It has to stay hidden like that it's scarce, right? Money likes to be free. Money likes to roam around. Why do you think people invest in stocks and do so many things to move their money, start businesses, just constantly moving money because they know that money responds well to that. Money responds so well to the thought of it just being free. Think about a bird that's caged up for months and months and months. Maybe it sees daylight sometimes. Maybe sometimes you speak nicely to it. Maybe other days you're saying, why are you not working out? You're not doing this. This isn't good enough. You're constantly talking back to it. Then all of a sudden, that bird, that cage opens one day, and you actually let it go free. And the wings that it expands, the feeling that this bird gets, and just flying around, just having that freedom, is what your bank account is lacking right now. So back to what I was saying, you can never actually spend money on something and gain nothing in return. Even if that money was going to someone that you were helping out, someone that you saw on the street that, you know, needed money for food or something like that. You gave that person your money, let's say, and first of all, their intention to spend that is going to be theirs. You did your good intention by giving them that money. But even then, even though you lost, let's say, those $10, what you actually gained was that person gaining something. So even in that sense, you're never lacking money because, or really, I should say, you're never lacking abundance because everything that happens in your life is only ever abundance. Again, anytime that you have to pay a bill, that you get an unexpected bill, that your tax bill is due, that you have to buy gifts, you forgot about the holidays coming up, whatever it is, and you're saying, I don't know where I'm going to get this. Like, how am I going to give all of my money away? Always know that money is always exchanged for some type of value. This is what people also say in the fact that don't work for time. If you're only ever diluting an amount of money that you get to a certain time that it takes, you're going to be racing forever for it. You're a hamster on its wheel because there's never going to be like a moment to try to improve or to get off of that wheel type of thing. So, when we're talking about all these things, when it comes to lack mindset and all these things, just know it's a false illusion. Like, you've probably heard this in spiritual teachings, maybe even religious practices, stuff like that. That God always provides, that the universe is always there for you when before it is asked, it is granted. A billion places all over the planet, in any scripture you will hear things like this. Why do you think that is? It's because there is this innate knowing within us humans that knows that we are actually abundant. And that's something I've been realizing lately. Like, sometimes we really are the ones that are stopping our desires from getting to us. You might be thinking, no, like, I've been praying, I've been asking the universe for more money or more this, more that. But just because your conscious mind is asking for it does not mean your subconscious mind is asking for it. I had this realization this past week because I hit my toe, and I've been ill since I've gotten here to Thailand, just like one thing or the other. And I was looking at myself and I'm like, I'm over being sick. I'm over feeling crappy, like congested or sick or like, something landing on my toe. Whatever it was, like I'm over feeling like that. Why is this happening? And I realized that there was this big sense of comfort that I felt when I felt like I was sick. People were checking up on me more. I had an excuse to not have to leave my house as much. I had all the excuses in the world to not do my exercise classes, to not go to Muay Thai, to not do a billion things where if I were super healthy, super good, I wouldn't have a choice. I would say, you know what? I'm feeling really good. Yeah, even if I don't feel like going to my exercise class today, I'm going to go because it's just part of me. It's just part of what I do. But in this sense, you have to think of yourself wherever it is that you're feeling this lack. Again, literally like my example, I was feeling a lack of health, but I was realizing health is a choice I can literally take. I can be the healthiest person in the world. Why is it that I actually what is it that I obtain from not being healthy? What is it? It's like kind of asking yourself, what do I obtain when I'm not a victim, like, or when I am a victim? What do I gain from being a victim? What do I gain from being in a victimhood mentality where I think that everyone is against me, where everything is going wrong, where I don't know, it just happened to me? No, I really don't believe that bad things, or whatever, just happen to you. I truly believe that the situations that happen in your life, you attract them one way or the other, through your words, through your minds, through your actions, through your thoughts, whatever it is, you're attracting those things. That's why when it comes to manifestation and abundance and all of this stuff, one of the most important things you can do is take accountability. When you stop blaming other people for your decisions and what's brought your life on, you actually take power back. Because when you're in a victim mindset, all you can think of is, I'm susceptible to the other people's choices. I'm just on the receiving end. While sometimes, yeah, you're not going to be able to control what other people are doing or saying or treating you, you will always have a response that's yours, and that is an action, that is a decision. So value the fact that you have that choice, you have that decision to make. You have the freedom, the free will to say to yourself that you really are an abundant person, because you are. Again, anything that you think you are lacking, there's somewhere, somehow, that you are actually obtaining abundance from it. Let's go back to our relationship example. When you've had all these previous relationships and you're saying, no, everyone's the same, everyone's going to treat me like this, whatever it is, whatever victimhood. First of all, ask yourself, what am I gaining in any situation when you feel like you're lacking? Ask yourself this question: what are you gaining in this moment from being a victim of these circumstances? Because you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are choosing your circumstances subconsciously or subconsciously or consciously. So you have to just think, what am I actually gaining if I don't have a lot of money? Do I feel like people actually stop to listen to me? I can express my feelings. Do I feel like that's the only time that my parents really show up and back me up and, might send me some money or whatever it is? Is that when, oh, all of my friends also talk about being broke all the time, so it actually makes me really relatable and it makes me have friends. It makes me continue being part of the friend group, not just being the weirdo that's like, oh, actually, I'm really abundant, and everyone's like, well, we're not on that page. Those energies wouldn't align. So that's the first question. Ask yourself, what are you actually gaining from the situation of lack that you're in? Because I guarantee you that you're gaining something. And I hope that just by listening to this video, you're starting to get clarity of like, ooh, I have to think, what is it that I'm actually gaining from being in this position? Anytime that something goes wrong, just think about it. Because there really are a lot of answers, a lot of hidden meanings. And I came to this conclusion because I was journaling about it. That always helps me a lot. I've gone back into journaling just like completely freestyle, just like a page a day. And that's been really nice to just like process through things because I'm not in therapy currently. Therapy is obviously such a wonderful way to do that and have someone to like kind of bounce back ideas about why some of these things might be happening, but not the stage of life that I'm in right now. So journaling, still getting out those emotions, but understanding myself, because yeah, it's not until we ask ourselves these big, deep questions that we actually understand what's going on underneath the surface. And if you don't know anything that's going on underneath the surface, you're living like 5% of your life, as we say, not even as we say, like scientifically as we know, The conscious mind is 5%. The subconscious mind is 95%. It's literally what's ruling your show. When we talk about self concept and your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, all of these things are part of your subconscious mind. And that's like, think of the genetic coding that your beliefs have on you. That's what your subconscious is. Think about how important that is. Like in genetics, think about the importance of every little cell, about how something works together, about how like one little difference in cell created a completely different outcome in who you are as a human body, as a physical body. Now think about in the spiritual sense, how much is going on beneath the surface in your subconscious mind. It literally rules the entire show. And the more that we feed it with the things that we intentionally choose, again, rather than saying, I'm just a victim, I'm here because I just am, like everything that comes at me is just thrown at me. No, 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 no. We're not going to be thinking like that. We're going to be thinking in abundance terms. Again, there is no such thing as scarcity. There's literally the only thing that exists is abundance. You can literally never lose something. Of course, I know you've heard the saying, you can't lose something that's yours. 100%. You can't. You just can't. It doesn't matter the people, the governments, the systems, the anything that you want to put up as the excuse. Well, oh, because of this I can't do this. Because of this, because of that. It's never that. It's never that. And if you believe that it is, that's what's fueling it, because your beliefs will find themselves to be true. If you believe something, you will see it happen in real life, even if it's not something that you want. This is why our desires and thoughts are so important, so magnetic, so attracting, because they literally rule the show. Anything that you believe, you will find evidence of. I always say this, but why do you think that there's so many different religions and governments and ways of being and cultural norms and religions and languages and everything? It's because everyone thinks that they're right, of course, because their beliefs fuel them and they see evidence because of those beliefs. It's just what it is. So wouldn't you rather be believing something that's going to benefit your life, that's going to actually put you in the driver's seat, that's going to have you stop seeing the world as just susceptible to anything that comes to me? I'm just a victim. And a lot of people don't know that they constantly live in this victim mentality, because it's so comforting, because you can be like, well, look at me, feel sad for me. I feel like, especially in today's day and age, everything is about I'm the victim, but did you see what happened to me, me? It's very like me centered, very individual, and focusing on the things that you don't even want. No, if you truly want to change your life, which I'm going to say a lot of people don't want to, and that's fine, but don't say you want to when you really don't. Don't say that you're like, I don't know, manifestations just aren't working or it's not happening. It's because your beliefs still aren't aligned with what it is that you're saying. Again, think about 5% versus 95%. Who do you think is going to win? So that's why rewiring these subconscious beliefs is so important, so crucial. But just come back to the fact of this video. Abundance is everywhere. Abundance is the norm. Abundance is what you are meant for. It's how you were born. It's what God wants you to experience. Honestly, I've really come to this belief that if you're just waiting for another opportunity, another time, another lifetime, another whatever to reap the rewards of just happiness and joy and adventure, and not even just saying like good things, just like experiencing life from a present point of view. If you're waiting to do that, stop waiting and start doing. Doing is the best thing ever. Doing, literally, I don't know, I feel like it's definitely the stage of life that I'm in right now. It's like there's no talk. There's action here. And that's a beautiful thing. It's something that I feel like truly does elevate your spirit, your soul, like a sense of just knowing within you, just that being, just being, you know? So with all that being said, if you take one thing away from this video, I hope it's that abundance is everywhere. I'm not even going to say the opposite, because that would literally be me reinforcing like, don't believe this, but you guys know I'm all about, I don't care what don't believe in, tell me what do believe in. So yes, all about abundance is everywhere. just if you truly believe that, you're going to be radiating that energy, and things with ease literally just start popping and falling into your lap. It's just easy. Oh my goodness. The moment that you realize that life and situations and circumstances don't have to be hard, don't have to be like devastating and trying and all the things that we grew up seeing in TV shows, in our parents' relationships, in all of these things. It doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. It can be easy. Life can be easy. It doesn't mean that it won't have its challenges. But again, I always say, what's the point of life? The point of life is not to be happy. The point of life is to just be present. Be present with where you're at. Be present with where it is that you're at. And also at the same time, have the belief that you also are striving and hoping and desiring something better, something bigger, something to look forward to. You need that hope. You need that hope and faith in something. You need something to look forward to as well, I believe. So with all that being said, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.